Hi, Dan Donovan here, publisher and managing editor of Ottawa Life magazine. Welcome to another edition of Correct Me If I'm Wrong. Today we're looking at police misconduct in Ottawa. This, of course, is a big problem in the province and across the country. There's a preponderance of police misconduct in this country. It's out of control. And when you peel back the onion and look at why that's happening, it becomes very clear very quickly that the reason it continues to happen is because of a lack of oversight of policing in this country, in this province, in this city. This came to a head last summer when Abdi Rahman Abdi, a 37-year-old Canadian citizen here of Somalian descent with mental health issues, was viciously beaten to death by an Ottawa police constable. There was a subsequent SIU investigation. Constable Daniel Monsian was charged with manslaughter, and then a whole bunch of things kicked in. Didn't kick in. The Attorney General, Yasser Naqvi, who also happens to be the MPP for the area, did nothing. Sat on his hands, wassailed around, did what he typically does. He's singularly shown that he is not competent to be the Attorney General of Ontario. He allowed Constable Monsian to get the special treatment. As soon as he was charged, the charges were laid, the charges then, the matter is turned over to the Attorney General and the Crown Attorney. They allowed this policeman to walk out of a jail after being charged, out of a police station, and not appear before a bail judge. Who else gets that kind of treatment? But we shouldn't be surprised, because the Ottawa Police Services Board, led by Ely El-Chantiri, councillors Alan Hubley and Tim Tierney, and there's some other members on it, have singularly failed over the last number of years to provide any discipline or oversight or proper oversight to the police. There have been over 70 criminal charges to Ottawa Police in the last 5 years. There's not one of them that's been fired. This includes for offenses like spousal abuse, driving under the influence, fraud, theft, and assault. And I'm making the case that because those oversight bodies have failed spectacularly in their duties to the public, in the public interest, because they have not done their job, we have seen a preponderance and an increase in police violence and police aggression that is over the top, that led to Mr. Abdi's death. Now, Mr. Monsian, the constable who did this, made the Sunshine List for 3 years. That means he was making on average $160,000 a year, and that's the kind of policing we're getting for this. In the meantime, we have the Ottawa Police Chief, Chuck Bordelot, who has no ability to fire officers because of the strong police association and other barriers in his way. He doesn't have the ability to fire officers. And Judge Tulloch's report, which came out last week, that looked into police investigating police, did not address that. We also have the oxygen-deprived head of the Ottawa Police Association, Matt Scoff, who's come up with a number of dumb ideas and made a number of incendiary comments over the last number of years. But the best is this idea that after one of his colleagues has been charged with manslaughter, that's killing somebody, Matt Scoff and the Ottawa Police Association decided to have a bracelet campaign where they're selling these bracelets that say "United We Stand" with Constable Monsian's number on the back. The police chief ordered the police not to wear these on duties. Now, the other day I was in an LCBO. There's a policeman wearing one of them. So how do we expect citizens to respect the police if the police don't respect their own orders and rules from their own chief? This is a problem. The bad judgment, the constant ignoring of the law, the special treatment that they're given. So they just ignored what the chief says. And I'm thinking when I read this, United We Stand. United you stand against what? What is that message sending out to the society? United you stand against the rest of us, against the people that pay your salary every week. United you stand against the Crown attorneys who charged a man with manslaughter for viciously beating a man to death. That's what these 1,200 officers who are wearing these wristbands are saying. United, we stand against the community we're paid to serve. And you're not serving us if you're wearing those bracelets, and you should take them off. It's an affront to democracy, it's an affront to the citizens in this city, and it's an affront to anyone who believes in law and order. The police are not above the law. If you're charged with driving under the influence, if you're charged with beating your wife, if you're charged with theft, if you're charged with fraud, you should be fired. You should be fired. This is a voluntary profession, and this idea that you're hiding behind all the time, that, oh, it's dangerous, that you think because this is a dangerous profession, it gives you the freedom to go out and to viciously beat citizens, to wear bracelets that snub the rules, to wear bracelets that suggest that you don't have to listen to the chief of police of this city, who we all employ, is ignorant in the extreme. So correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're going to serve the citizens in this city, the first step you should do is cut the bracelets.